Welcome back, our dear viewers, to shed more light on Egypt economic reform. We are very much delighted to start our interviews. Our dear guest, Dr. Salah Arafah, Professor of Science and member of the Civil Society Egypt. Dr. Arafah, in reference to Egypt's ongoing strategies for raising the awareness and promoting Egypt investment opportunities at local, regional and international levels, how do you view the significance of the country's efforts to transform Egypt into a more attractive destination for the foreign investments?
Well, I must say that the effort is great, and I think soon we are going to have the rewarding of this sort of procedures to really make it easy for the investors from outside. I think we need also to encourage more of the investment from inside, local investment. And as everyone would say, that if we cultivate our food and if we import our handmade and doing things for industry, I think we'll be a great nation. And I think the government and our President Sisi are doing all the effort in that direction, and I think we are going to see that result very soon, inshallah.
Inshallah, sir. In your opinion, what are the key components of Egypt's economic reform agenda that have actually helped build investors' confidence?
Really, what they see on the ground and what they see as a good relation between the people and the government heads. And the third is really the peace environment that we are living here in Egypt with this sort of trust, or great trust between the people and the government. So I think the starting point is really the trust and the belief, and I think we are able to do what the President and the government are really trying to plan for. And I think what we need is maybe more dialogue and debates, and as well as more contribution from the people in concern.
Yes. Sir, how do you view the legal reforms such as the 2017 investment law that protect and encourage the foreign investors in the country?
Oh, I think we have a good start. And I think the visits of the ministers as well as the president to foreign countries and encouraging them and speaking face to face are much more than writing papers and words. And I think this, as I said, gives the trust before anything that would be written or announced in the television or in the radio. So I think they are doing very well. They are doing a very good effort, and I think we need to just integrate these efforts in certain direction and industry. We have to go parallel. We can't really depend on industry and get our things from outside.
Of course.
Or we can't really make our things and we have our food from outside. We need to have both, and I think this means that we need the labor and we need the farmers.
Of course.
We need to make an effort
integration
to really get them informed and well-trained.
Sir, from the very same perspective, how does the tax incentives and the custom duties reductions as outlined in Egypt investment laws contribute to increase the foreign investments?
Well, I think it needs lots of studies, because I think it's very, very important for the conservation of consumption. If you leave it open
Yes.
and you reduce the customs, people would be interested to get more. But if they know what are the limits and they are aware of what is needed for the country, I think this would make it easier for keeping the customs well organized. So I think it's very, very important to really make a balance between what we get from outside with
Yes.
the customs and what we give outside and we pay customs for.
Yes, indeed.
So I think this needs a negotiation and understanding, and as I said, is built on trust before anything else.
Of course. Actually, sir, Egypt's efforts have been essential for supporting the country's economic goals, including increasing the role of the private sector, boosting job opportunity creation, and growing the export rate. How do you read these things?
I think the effort is very important, and I think we are really going to achieve it very soon, especially when we are really giving our directions to the new areas in the desert, because as you know, we have 80% of our land is desert.
Yes.
So we need to invest in that, agriculture-wise as well as industry-wise. And I think we heard a lot about the effort in Suez Canal area, the effort in South Sinai and the Red Sea. They are really all very good plans, and we need to support it on the different levels of the population.
Sir, how does Egypt's infrastructure developmental projects, including the Suez Canal Economic Zone and the new administrative capital, enhance its attractiveness for the international investors to come and invest in Egypt?
The position or the location of Egypt is unique, because you are at the Red Sea for the Arab countries. You are at the Mediterranean Sea for all Europe. You are at Aswan,
unique location
for
indeed.
Africa. So this is very, very attractive for any investor that to have not only Egypt, but he would go from Egypt to other places
Yes, sir.
in the world.
What role does Egypt's strategic location play in positioning the country as a global hub for the logistics and manufacturing? And how do you view the way the country utilizes this point of strength?
Well, the utilization is, as I see it from the actions of the government and the ministers concerned, is really great, because I think to really make the direction on Sinai, on the Red Sea, and on Turkey, would make the connection very easy for us if we are importing or exporting, and for the other people to cooperate with us and make investment in the country.
Sir, on another level, how does Egypt's growing relationship with Africa benefit its long-term economic growth and its investment strategy?
Well, we are on the right direction, but I think we need to enhance that by really making a sort of, what you call it, a better communication. And the better communication is not that here is a minister, one with 2 or 3 people are visiting an African country. No, I think, as I felt it myself, because I'm a member of the civil societies in,
Yes.
in Africa as well.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I go to a country in Africa, they tell me, we love Egypt, we want Egypt, but we don't see Egypt. They don't come here easily, and they don't see people going there easily.
But I do believe that this is starting to change. A few years ago, maybe Egypt has more presence in Africa and more cooperation with Africa, and we have more direct flights to many African capitals as well.
Well, that's media-wise, not in the real estate, as at least I know. In the real estate, we need to allow non-governmental organization, industry, to really move quickly and freely. And to move quickly and freely, they should really be given the support and the priority to really make that type of investment and cooperation with others.
Yes, indeed, sir. From Africa to Europe, how the recent partnerships with the European countries such as Germany and France helped Egypt to diversify its investment sources, and what does this reflect from your point of view, Dr. Araf?
Well, this is also great because we can, I wouldn't say learn from them, but at least they have learned a lot from us, from our history and so on, and our industry and so on. But we need to make this exchange and to gain ideas. And as I remember, the people in China and the people in Japan were telling me that what we have gained is really to send our students and our scientists and our laborers easily to work and to have a relationship with sort of these countries to gain knowledge.
Yes.
And they imported to the country. And they, with their thinking and cooperation and investment goals and so on, they can improve it.
Indeed.
And this is what we call it the cultivation of this type of communication and cooperation. Not on the level of visiting president or visiting minister, but on the level of local investors who would like to know more and get more. And since we have been also in the television seeing the solar energy, well, I have a question to everyone hearing us or seeing us now. Why we in Egypt up till today haven't produced solar cells? And we are encouraging people to really make solar
depend on solar energy.
Solar energy. Why? I tell you, because this needs the raw material, and people working in the raw material, they have nothing to do with the industry. The people working with the raw material are the Bedouins and the people in the desert who have maybe no idea or information.
Yes.
The people who knows how to do it, they are in the universities, technical universities, and they are here. So there is no connection. We need to make that very important.
To start to manufacture solar cells
and to get not the solar cells as solar cells, to get the people to get together and to explain how to cooperate and make it easy from the what you call it, the procedures.
Yes. Indeed. Sir, we'll take this report, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's vision for expanding Egypt's global cooperation and to attract more direct investment in the country, more in the following story.
President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's leadership has been characterized by a strategic focus on expanding Egypt's diplomatic and economic relations globally. Under his guidance, Egypt has not only worked to enhance its attractiveness to foreign investors, but also actively opened new horizons for cooperation with nations across the world. This broad and inclusive approach has helped strengthen Egypt's position as a key player in the global economy and a pivotal hub for international business and investment. From the onset of his presidency, President el-Sisi has prioritized the diversification of Egypt's international relations. His administration has made concerted efforts to build closer ties with major global powers as well as with regional powers in the Middle East and Africa. These efforts have resulted in an increase in foreign direct investment and trade partnerships that have greatly benefited the Egyptian economy. In particular, Egypt has focused on building its relationship with emerging markets in Asia, positioning itself as a vital partner in China's Belt and Road Initiative. This initiative has unlocked vast infrastructure investments in Egypt, particularly in transport, energy and telecommunications. In Europe, Egypt has sought to deepen its relationships with major economies such as Germany, France and Italy. President el-Sisi's visits to these countries have resulted in significant investments in automotive and industrial sectors. The U.S. has also remained a crucial partner for Egypt, both in terms of security cooperation and economic engagement. The U.S.-Egypt strategic partnership continues to focus on areas such as energy, education and entrepreneurship, with American companies maintaining a presence in Egypt's growing economy. In the Middle East, Egypt has played a central role in fostering regional stability and economic cooperation. Egypt's strategic location, coupled with its political and economic weight, has made it a natural partner in Middle East development projects. The country has leveraged its strong relationship with Gulf countries such as Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates to attract significant investments in various fields. President el-Sisi's strategic initiatives have significantly expanded Egypt's global cooperation and attracted a wider range of foreign investments. Through strong diplomatic efforts, infrastructure development and legal reforms, Egypt has positioned itself as a vital destination for global investors. The government's ongoing commitment to protecting foreign investment, combined with its focus on international partnerships, ensures a bright future for Egypt in the global economy.
تحية تقدير واحترام لبطل حقيقي. البطل ده هو مصر وشعبها. الحكاية مش حكاية لا حكومة ولا قيادة، ده حكاية كل مواطن في مصر. أكرمت مصر وشرفت مصر وعزيت مصر، انتم قتلتم. فالشرف كل الشرف والكرامة كل الكرامة والفضل كل الفضل لله سبحانه وتعالى، ثم ليكم انتم. شرفتوني واكرمتموني وعزتوني ورفعت راسي قدام الدنيا كلها باللي انتم عملتوه. والله 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 لن يستطيع اي رئيس يقف مكاني هنا انه يقدر يعمل حاجه بدونكم. لن يستطيع. قصه وطن.
Back, our dear viewers. Sir, Egypt's competitive economy is one of that thrives on innovation, efficiency and productivity, leveraging its strengths and continuously adapting to the emerging trends and technologies. How do you view the key components of the Egyptian government strategy for building a more competitive economy in Egypt?
Well, they are doing very well as a strategy general. But I think what we need to see more effective relationship and strategy is really the cooperation of what we called it, all of us in the media, we call it what? The magic triangle. and I can tell you,
Yes.
the magic triangle is really the way to really move forward and to achieve sustainability and development. What is that? Well, on the heads, the three heads of this triangle,
Yes.
you have the government, you have the private sector, and you have the civil society.
Of course.
They should sit together as much as possible, they cooperate together as much as possible, and they participate in the general strategy
Yes.
as much as possible. And I think I would like to take this opportunity of really calling for the support and the awareness for what we call it for investment, the shareholding company.
Yes. Sir, Egypt remains competitive on the world stage. How do you view the importance of Egypt's participation in world initiatives such as the Chinese Belt and Road Initiative in attracting FDI?
Well, I think it's a very good effort. As I said, we are doing a very good effort, and the strategies are well done. We need to all support it from the different directions together, and not this is a direction of the government or the president only,
Yes.
but we need to support it even for the awareness of the public people in the street.
Sir, Egypt is leveraging various media tools and channels to market Egypt's business-friendly environment on the global level. How do you view the efforts that have been made to promote Egypt as a top investment destination across the media platforms, and what does this imply, and what more should be done from your point of view?
Well, I think, as I said, the strategies are well done, and the ideas of the president as well as the government are well said.
Yes.
What we need is to act on them and to involve the different people. When you go for the investors, we don't need to go for the big investors only, but the small investors, we need to incorporate them. How to incorporate them is to sit together and talk and to see what they need, what we can do for them, what they can do for us. This type of, and as I said, when we start with the word start as a new ideas
Yes.
for the moving in the direction of economic and social development, I would say the first step in this starting point is what? Is the dialogue and participation. Dialogue of what? Well, dialogue of the community. Two, the participation of what? Of everybody. This we need to go down from the strategy up to really get people aware and be part of this structure. And this, I think, the first step, because the second step would come with this trust and belief and put together and our hands together, and we can do the new pyramid.
Yes. On another level, sir, how do you view Egypt's efforts in leveraging the international events and forums to promote the investment opportunities in the country?
Well, I think, as I said, they are doing well. What we really need is to incorporate the effort of the media, the effort of the non-governmental organizations in these ideas. We don't need to have the ministers going and meeting the investors in a country. Why don't we have The investors.
They go with delegations, so it can comprise ministers, officials, NGO, and different...
No. I mean, if you go name by name, no, that's a government officials going to a country to really make the investment. They are doing very well, and they did very well up till now. But what I'm saying, it could be much more complete, much more effective by having the other sectors as well.
Indeed. So regarding Egypt's strategy for marketing its investment environment to potential investors in Europe, Asia and the Middle East, how can this benefit the Egyptian economy at large?
Oh, very well. The first thing that you can say between two of us.
Yes.
Okay? I want to do something to get money from you. And you want to do a service to me and get money from me.
Yes.
How could we do that? Well, sit and talk and cooperate, and I think be in the possible way of trusting each other and also benefiting each other, even in different aspects, which is very, very important for the whole thing in the whole country, is that we need to transfer the knowledge as well as the appropriate technologies from where it is there existing to where it is needed. How to do that? Well, I don't need to send the minister of whatever, but I need to send students. I need to send scientists. I need to send workers to really gain the sort of industry. And that takes me to whatever we have been discussing a few hours ago in one of the meetings about the technical education. Well, how could I make a technical education and get the people for a whole year or 2 years or even 3 years, and they haven't seen one factory as a visit? How could I teach people solar energy and they don't see Aswan project? The cooperation is very, very important. And the cooperation, as I said, between the government to make it easy for these ideas to implement by private sector and to support by the civil society.
Okay, sir. In an era where dominated by global geopolitical shifts or global health crises, a flexible economy is one that can swiftly adapt to these changes without compromising its growth trajectory. How do you view the fact that Egypt's economy is responsive to both domestic needs and the global trends, and what does this reflect from your point of view, Dr. Arafah?
Well, I think, as I said, and I would repeat it in this question too, the answer to this question.
Yes.
The strategy is there, and aiming to that, what you are saying, to encourage this type of cooperation and the benefit from both sides and so on. We need to strengthen it. We need to effectively apply it. And when we do that, as I said, we should not go to the big and leave the small. We shouldn't really go to one sector and leave the other sector. When you say we have a problem with water, well, what is the problem with water? It's not that it's not clean, it's dirty, or it is little, not more, but it is also the use and the importance of it. This needs awareness. For example, when you go to the desert and cultivate the desert, you need water. Okay, I will give you water.
Yes.
I will use it like what I do in the country. Because nobody have taken the effort to educate and train them in drip irrigation or spray irrigation. And if they need that technology, they don't know where to go. And if they go to that, they need a lot of money. So this complication needs to be really sort of solved here before we get the other investors from outside.
Sir, how do you view Egypt's national projects today after years of progress with the comprehensive development reaching all corners of the state?
Well, again, they are doing very well. I think we need more cooperation, more responsible participation, and I think that would lead us to a better standing and for a better future.
Yes. Sir, how do you view the link here between supporting the human capital and the sustainable development?
Well, that is very good because we are planning in 1 month or 2 to really have a national meeting on what? Population and development. The one word that you said, population and development. When you see what are the problems of population, like what we did in 1994 World Meeting today, well, they are still the same. We have 3 main problems with our population. The first is we are too many. 2, that we are very accumulated in certain areas. 3, we are looking for good education, good technical education. Not education to say, but technical education because everyone outside are doing all the technical training as well as the data processing and ID and IA and so on. So where are we from that? What we have really to solve these problems by solving these problems from the beginning by making people aware and helping them to make the solution. And to help making the education, you get the big announcement of the government, which is true. What? Well, we don't have enough schools and we don't have enough teachers. Well, why that? We don't have schools? Okay, but why don't we use the mosques and
the church?
The church. Places available for us, and even in each small place in Egypt, you have what we call it the common room, Madiafa, which is a place common, people gather in it, but it's not used all the time. So why don't we use it? To make it effective for educating the people and making them aware because education sometimes is not a lesson and
Yes.
a teacher and so on. But it could be we sit together and talk and I learn from you. Very important.
Indeed, sir. Sir, the economic development cannot continue without social inclusion and environmental sustainability. How do you view Egypt's significant and multi-phase efforts throughout the last years to grow its developmental progress on several levels?
As I said, they are doing very well, but it's not complete. And when I say not complete, because the completion is really to have the cooperation of these three.
But I do believe that on many levels, the NGOs as well as the private sector are involved in many sectors as well. So what more from your point of view, Dr. Arafah, could be done to involve them?
Well, is really to make it easy for them. Easy for them. If I say I want to make a training program and I would make it free and I would make it, which hotel is very close? Oh, Ramses Hilton.
Without mentioning name, please, yes.
Oh, whatever.
Yes, at a certain place.
A certain place, okay? Okay, the people from Giza would pay for not a taxi, but £5, £2 to come here and go. What about people in Sohag? What about people in Minya?
But I do believe also that there are some programs for the different governorates, not only in Cairo.
But all are concentrated in places that it is related to the big bosses and the big investors, but not really to the small investors in the countryside and to the small NGOs in the countryside. You know, I'm a member of 19 NGOs in Egypt. They are suffering. Suffering from what? From the dealing with stamps, that's one. The dealing with money, that's second. And at the same time, the sort of easy, free things that could be arranged. For example, I have a school, okay? And the school is busy with the children from the morning at 8 o'clock up till 4 o'clock. What about after 4 o'clock? Why couldn't I use?
Yes.
It needs more broadening by more cooperation with the civil society.
Yes, indeed. Dr. Salah Arafah, Professor of Science and member of the Civil Society Egypt, thank you so much for being our guest for tonight.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much, sir. Our dear viewers, with that we come to the end of this edition of the Daily Debate. Many thanks for watching. I'm Hissi Rabia signing off.